Hello everybody and welcome! Have you ever noticed the donation node in your Firefox browser? If you are using Firefox. I've been using Firefox for many years now, but I never noticed the fundraiser until now. And I thought, oh boy, what were they thinking? But before we start, I want to make clear that I have no intention to promote or bash Mozilla and or their products. This is all about the way they ask for donations and how it might be perceived by us. So here is the ad that I saw in my browser. It is in German, but I will translate it. Mozilla, the developers of Firefox, rely on your donations. If everybody would just give 3 euros, we would have enough for the whole next year. Donate now. Please note, after the analysis of this note, I will show more examples written in English. There are significant differences that I will address. So what information do we get? They rely on our donations. Why? And here we have the first problem. They don't say why they rely on our donations. Don't they make their own money? Are they bankrupt? Is it some kind of Kickstarter to boost a new product? We don't know. Unless we do or did some research. But to be fair, nowadays if you download the browser, they will talk about who they are and what they do in the installer. I can remember times it was only install and done. And expecting that people read the text during installation is a little bit gullible in my opinion. Why not add a link that says who we are and what we do? There is a wiki about Mozilla, but more about that later. The next passage contains 3 pieces of information. If everybody would give just 3 euros, we would have enough for the whole next year. Who is everybody? Everybody in the world, everybody with an internet connection, everybody who uses Firefox? We have no clue who the target group is. 3 euro from everybody. Okay, they are telling us what they expect us to pay to reach their goal. That is something we can work with. But enough for the whole next year is cryptic again. The whole message is, we rely on your donations to have enough for the whole next year. Enough to do what? But what struck me the most are the options we can choose from. 3, 5, 10 or 20? You said that 3 euro would be enough and the default setting is 10 euros? You propose that we donate more than 3 times as much the amount you said would be sufficient? Come on, that is outrageous. And why not donate 20 euro for an unknown reason? I would donate something if they wrote, donate money because we want some. At least that I can understand. But there is actually a strategy behind the choice of option, even though poorly executed. The highlighted amount is what they expect us to donate. To the left is the generous option and to the right is the budget option. The one on the far right is the feel bad option. This display is constructed to make us feel good or bad about ourselves compared to others. If we pay more than the default, our brain tells us we did more good than the average. And if we are tempted to give less than the average, our brain tells us, yeah, but others gave more. We still feel good about ourselves because we supported something that is important to us, but we could feel better. And the last one on the right exists to extend the scale, to boost the feelings. Now, there are 2 problems. First, there should or could be 5 options and the default should be in the middle. This way there is a neutral zone. We could use amount X, feel free to pay more or less. But with 4 options and the default set on the second highest, it just appears greedy right away. There's only 1 step up but 2 down. If they set the default on the 3rd option, it wouldn't be that bad. It might even appear humble, because there's only 1 option below. It indicates that even a small amount of money is helpful to them and they don't expect us to pay over the top. Second, they said what amount would be sufficient and they put it as the last option. We talked about that already, but it is so blunt to say. If you want to donate something, then make it the minimum amount per head recalculated or beat it. Erase the 20 euro option and add a 1 euro option below the 3. Now set the default on 3 or 5. Another thing that puzzled me is the Make my donation monthly checkbox. As I understand, 3 euro per person is enough. Now they give us the option to pay 6 times as much every month of the year. Yeah, right. And at this point I thought that this is ridiculous and I started to do some research. I looked up Firefox donations. And I found a wiki that answers a lot of donation related questions like how will my donation be used? Long story short, Mozilla itself is a non-profit community following their Mozilla manifesto. Quote, in general, resources are dedicated to promoting openness, innovation and opportunity on the internet in ways that will benefit everyone. Well, that is a reason I could work with. Why not put an explanation like this in the donation message? And then I looked for similar notes, and here's what I found. The first one is mostly the same as the German one we discussed, but there are 3 improvements. It says non-profit, everyone reading this, and a few dollars. They mention that Mozilla is non-profit. Now we can understand why they rely on donations. Everyone reading this defines the target group. I can start to think, my parents use Firefox as well, but they probably won't donate. Shall I donate more to ensure that Mozilla reaches its goal? The open amount of a few dollars negates the problem I had with the specific amount of 3. But another problem arises. They cut the option for 20 and now the default is at the highest option possible. It still seems very greedy, but we don't have a reference point to compare it to. A few dollars is very unclear. The second one finally gives us a reason why we should donate. Puts the public good and user privacy before profit. By donating money, we support Mozilla in pursuing ideals that benefits us all. And the second sentence bothers me a little bit. It's kind of an imperative. If it's useful, donate. They don't give us much of a choice. I'd prefer some kind of suggestion. If it's useful, why not donate? And again, we have the problem with the options. Even more confusing is the sentence, fundraiser would be over within an hour. Okay, what happens if they hit that number? Will they shut down the fundraiser? If it goes that fast, why should I donate more than $3? Are they implying that it's not the case? Yeah, this sentence is very open to interpretation, and I leave it with, don't use it, it raises too many questions. A nice touch is thank you at the end. They are asking for donation. That is something we don't have to do. So it is nice to say thanks in advance to show appreciation. Additionally, the Dear Firefox users in bold letters at the beginning makes a big difference. If you want someone to do something, address them. They even say Dear users, what gives us the impression that every user is important to them. Moreover, they use the plural users, pointing out that we are all in community. The third one has the best text in my opinion. They address the audience and list all the important information in one sentence. Non-profit, mission and reason. What I don't like is the usage of the bold print. The eye skips the introduction and we first read give us money. Additionally, the thank you is replaced by donate now. That sends exactly the opposite message. Now it's an order rather than appreciation. And at this point, I'm pretty much done and don't spend more time reading the rest of the text. That is the problem. The focus should be on the why, the first part. After we understand the message and the reason behind it, we are more responsive to the imperative donate now. So what would my suggestion look like? I would combine all three of them and adjust the options. It would look like this. Dear Firefox users, every donation helps Mozilla stay true to our non-profit mission to promote openness, innovation, and opportunity on the web. If everyone reading this chipped in a few dollars, we would be supported for another year. Thank you. Need more information? Who we are and what we do. In conclusion, Mozilla relies on donations because of the non-profit aspect. So I cannot understand how the quality of the fundraising promotion lacks so much. I'm baffled how much different versions are found of the same message. And it's not like the quality improves with everyone. No, every message has some good and some bad points. On one hand, it seems like Mozilla doesn't want to bother people asking for donations. But on the other hand, the donation options are so ridiculously high compared to the number they give us. In my opinion, Mozilla doesn't promote the manifesto enough. If they raise awareness what their ideals are, I bet more people would be willing to spend some dollars. A very important part of any company or brand is the why behind it. It is not the what. There are many internet browsers out there, so why should I support Firefox? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, have a good one.